Hi, and welcome to Chez Greg. I am Chez Greg. What we're going to be doing today is making a chocolate dessert that you and your whole family will absolutely love, especially the kids, if you even just like chocolate a little bit, okay? What we need is a pot. Today I'm using two. This one's already boiling water, and I'll get to that in a little bit. We need a cookie tray, 2 spoons because we have to taste test. We actually may need like 4 or 5. And a coffee grinder. Now, as far as actual food ingredients go, always the healthiest I have available. So the first thing we're going to use is organic coconut oil. Then we're going to use some hemp hearts. Now, if you're not sure what hemp hearts are basically hemp seeds that are shelled. They taste like sunflower seeds. Kids love them and they're very healthy for you. We're going to need some bee pollen. You don't need bee pollen. I like to add it myself. To sweeten up the chocolate, we're going to be using some pure honey. This has been pasteurized. I don't always use pasteurized, but this has been pasteurized and it was in the back of my cupboard, so I thought I'd use it up today for the video. I've got some flavorful almonds, organic. Some cocoa powder. Now, sometimes I use cocoa beans or cocoa nibs and grind them in the coffee grinder. But for today's texture, I'm using stuff that's already been ground and it's just a powder form because I want the texture. And lastly, we need some dried goji berries. This is what we're going to be grinding in the coffee grinder because chocolate is very bitter on its own, in case you don't know that. So what we're going to be doing is grinding this, mixing this with the chocolate and the honey as well to sweeten to our desired sweetness. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put our stove element on very low. Okay, we want a low heat because we're going to add the coconut oil. Now, coconut oil, in case you don't know this, at room temperature, it's hard. Okay, we just want to melt it. We don't want to boil it. We don't want to get it too hot, as a matter of fact, otherwise that will denaturize some of the proteins in it, which means it'll break the proteins apart and we lose some of the value that way, some of the health value. So we're going to put in, for now, just a couple of, good thing I have an extra spoon, a couple of teaspoons, okay? So there's that. And we've got, this honey is a liquid honey, okay? This is why I like it, because we can actually just open this up and pour it out. And we'll pour in a little bit of that too, just like that, okay? You don't have to use too much, because we're just going to sweeten it to our desired sweetness, and the tasting comes later. We can always add more honey or goji berries or anything like that we want. And if you want right now too, you can add the bee pollen. So we're going to do that as well. And just a couple of sprinkles, you know, just sprinkle across the bottom, and any that fall, do that too. Okay, so we're just going to let that melt a little bit. It's starting to melt. Okay. And now we get the coffee grinder. This is my favorite part. It's because I'm a guy and I like to use lots of mechanical toys and stuff. So what we'll do is we're going to get some goji berries. And you know what? I'll show you. There's how many goji berries we use. There's one small handful, okay? And a little bit more. All right. Goji berries. And with the almonds, that depends on how much you like almonds. I like the flavor of goji berries too, so sometimes I use a little more than that. We're just going to use a handful like that of the almonds. I'm going to pop those in there. Okay, that's the lid to the coffee grinder. Okay, and then we go like that. If you add it this way first, sometimes the lid presses it, and it just, you don't get it all out the same way. Okay, so plug it in and grind away. See how simple and quick this is? Okay, so that's ground away. Let's pull this out of here, tap it to get all the powder out, and voila, a nice thin consistency. Okay, you see that? Really nice. All right, our coconut oil and honey is melting beautifully. Just gonna stir it a little bit to keep it warm, keep it melting. Okay, it's only been maybe 90 seconds to 2.5 minutes. and the coconut oil has melted. Everything's blended. I'll even show you with the camera what it looks like. See, now it's all nice and melted. Okay. Of course, the bee pollen doesn't melt. Now what we'll do is we're going to add our goji berry almond mixture. Okay, just like this. Okay, you can just dump it on if you want. Stir it a little bit. Okay, and that's going to get all, you'll see what happens here. Okay. So it's got a bit of a texture to it, obviously. And this is one of the reasons why I liked the powdered chocolate for today. Okay. So the powdered cocoa, you don't have to use a lot. I'll show you how much I'm using in here. Because it's very bitter, and it depends how chocolatey you like it too. Some people like it more sweet than chocolatey. Some people like it more chocolatey than sweet. That's actually, you know what? That's quite a bit. Usually I use about 2 tablespoons, teaspoons rather, sometimes 2.5. And that's about what that is there. So we're just going to add that like this. There's 1, and there's 2 tablespoons, teaspoons rather. Okay. I'm going to stir that in like that and mix it all up. Now, you know what? Maybe I'll add just a little more. Maybe add a little bit more. I'm just going to add from the bag though. Today I'm adding more just because I'm looking at the consistency, and I like it to be a little thinner, and you know what? I love chocolate anyway, so why not? I like it to be more brownish chocolate than reddish goji. That's how I look at it and tell. There we go. Nice and mixed. Okay, can you see that? Nice, oh yeah, and you can smell the chocolate aroma. It smells like mom's baking when you were a kid. That's how chocolatey this smells right now. And this is why we use 2 spoons. Oh my goodness, that is good. Wow. All right. I could eat it like that, but we're not going to. Because this is what we're doing today. We're making chocolate covered almonds. All right. So all we're doing is adding a couple handfuls of almonds. New spoon, nice and clean. And we're just going to mix it in, and the chocolate is going to cover these almonds. All right. Just takes a couple of seconds. Now this one's really chocolatey. It's more chocolatey than it is sweet, but it's a good consistency. It's a nice dark chocolate flavor with a little goji. And you know what? We can even add another handful of almonds if we want, just a small handful. Okay, so that small handful was maybe 18 almonds. All right, so we're just stirring the almonds in like that, okay? All natural, all good. We didn't boil the goodness out of the chocolate or any of the other ingredients, didn't denaturize any of the proteins. Okay? No refined sugar here, that's for sure. All right, you see that? Now, we get the cookie sheet. Okay, so what I quickly did was just clear off a little space on the counter here. And now, we've got our chocolate with our almonds. Actually, it's our almond mint chocolate with honey and goji. How does that sound? We're just gonna go like that, okay? And we just smear it, we flatten it out, okay? And obviously this cookie tray is bigger than I need, but that's okay. And we're just gonna go like this. You might even call this, you know, like peanut brittle, kind of like peanut brittle, but it's not. It's chocolate almond brittle with goji. And let me tell you, if you show up to someone's place with all these ingredients and say, hey, you know what, I'm making dessert for dinner, they're gonna go absolutely nuts and they're gonna love you for it. Because it's fresh and it's warm. And now, the hemp hearts. Hold on, I gotta eat this now. Oh. Oh, that is so good. All right, and this is the reason we got these hemp hearts. Because now in the end, we sprinkle it on. like that. Okay? And depending how eager you are to have this right away, you can cool it off several ways. You can put it in the freezer, you can put it in the fridge, or you can let it sit. Can you guess which I'm gonna do? Okay, so here we are back with our creation. It's been in the freezer for about 10, maybe 15 minutes. Chocolate covered almonds with hemp hearts sprinkled on top. I have also a knife and a spoon, which I didn't have before, just in case because it is kind of frozen, in case you want to take it off. You know what? I don't even think I really don't even need the spoon or the knife to take it off. I can use my fingers. Now this is where your kids will absolutely love it, because they can use their fingers just to break it off like that, and the chocolate's going to get on the fingers, and it's going to taste good for minutes and maybe even hours later, depending on how much of it you make. Just make sure you have a cloth handy to wipe wherever they touch afterwards. I'm going to put it all in my mouth. This is phenomenal. I can taste the mint from the mint tea we put in. I can taste the goji, a hint of the honey, definitely the almonds, and of course chocolate. Now, we use dried goji berries, or dehydrated actually. I know it's not proper to talk with food in my mouth. We use dried goji berries, okay, dehydrated goji berries. That's because I like goji berries. It doesn't have to be goji. You can use whatever you want. You could use mixed berries of any kind and grind them up and put them in. It doesn't really matter. It tastes awesome. That's the fun of it. Actually, that's not the fun of it. That's the good part of it. The fun of it is just pulling it off like this and eating it with the hemp hearts. Oh. And I don't know how many chocolate bars is here. I'd say a good 10. You buy a chocolate bar in the store, you're looking at probably 15 bucks plus a lot of chemicals and other stuff like that put into it. This is pure. Nothing's been taken out. Only good stuff is in here. When you buy all the ingredients at once, it can cost you anywhere between $50 and $60, but we hardly used any. We're gonna, over the time of a year's span, we're gonna be able to make probably 100 chocolate bars or more for what, 50 bucks? And your friends, wherever you go, make this for dessert. Gonna love you and love this. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time at Chez Greg. This is awesome.